and I have put manuals together. I have assembled manuals, entire programmatic manuals for different programs in the community here in West Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale in Florida. And I can tell you something today about the importance and the structure of policies and procedures, mostly for programs. Even though I think that nowadays um, medium income businesses are implementing a lot of policies and procedure manuals so that their employees know what to do next and what not to do. So the first thing that any video will tell you about policies and procedures is the reason why we have them. And the main reason we have those is to be able to put a paper between the person and the problem. So if an employee does a boo-boo at work, you can put the paper between that problem and that employee so that you're not caught in the middle. So it's not up to you. Oops, I'm sorry. That's what the policy and the procedure says. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you is what do we do if policies or procedures are not followed? Usually there are three levels. One is a verbal warning to the employee, always with a plan of remediation, meaning that they have to embark in a plan that allows them to redeem themselves for not having read that policy or for not following it. The second level, the first one was verbal warning. The second level is a written warning where you write them up, just like within high school, where we got one of those demerit staffs. You write them up and you say, you have been verbally warned, and now you're being written up. And they also have to do a remediation plan that is a little thicker and more dense than they would in the verbal warning. And after that, you have to meet with whatever group of directors and supervisors you have and make a decision about being the third time if you want to let them go or you want to give them some time out or some way of reprimanding them for not following the policy and the procedure. However, the ideal business, the way we're moving forward in the now and hopefully towards the future, is a more understanding one, one that tries to understand what it is that informs the employee to not follow that policy or the procedure, and perhaps their employee has an idea that is different or more positive than the one that is written down in the manual. For that reason, we go into the next step. Manuals of policies and procedures should always be updated. At least once a year, these babies have to be updated. What does that mean? That an assembly of employees and business owners and sometimes board of director members who like to be in the business will gather together and go over the manual and review it. Now, the person in charge of these policies and procedures in any business is called the quality management supervisor, who is supervised by the quality management director. It's a people who assesses quality within the program and outside of the program. Within the program is policies and procedures, making sure that everything is in place, whereas outside of the program it's more about satisfaction surveys and making sure that clients are happy with the services that they're receiving. The last part of policies and procedures is how do we structure them? How do we create them? Well, there is a difference between policies and procedures. The policy, as many videos on YouTube say, and it's true, is the law. Right? So the policy says people should not speed. The procedure is the way to enforce the law, more specifically saying if you are going above the speed limit on a 45 miles per hour road, you will be fined this much. So another example more relevant to the workspace would be access to media, social media during work hours. The policy is a law. It's very simple, it's very brief. It says employees will not access social media during work hours. Exception, see procedures. And then you do a procedure where you say employees may not access social media sites via their telephone or their computer during work hours, period. Employees must not sign in to social media websites or use the internet for leisure purposes during work hours, period. And now that you have enlisted the procedures, you put an exception. And under exceptions, you may write, employees may access social media websites during lunch if they so choose to. Just a very bad example. I didn't find the right words to phrase it, but that's kind of how it works. So in a nutshell, you have the idea of what policies and procedures are. By the way, the abbreviation will be p&p, and I do recommend that you create a manual, and even though you have them on your computer and we're going paperless and all, you keep a manual of p&ps, p&p manual, where you have all the policies. So when an employee starts working, you have them read the manual and ask him if they have any questions. Now, for those of you who are watching, who were with me, I never say for me, but with me, by my side, you should always look at those. You should always make sure that those are in place. You should always be thinking in terms of what is it that I can put into a policy and a procedure to make sure that we work more effectively. That after a while of going back to the policies and procedures, we will each have a sense of duty. There's a certain number of things, and then we will know what each of us has to do and what everyone or no one must ever find themselves doing. So I hope this video is useful. Please do not hesitate to put comments. Thank you so much. Bye.